south of the United Arab Emirates. I had the privilege to see these constellations, these stars from that place, because the light pollution at that city was really so low that I can see the stars so bright. This was the beginning. Listening to my parents, how our ancestors utilized stars for navigation, for traveling. That was the beginning. That was the spark for myself that's thinking about, maybe one day I will go to space. I will travel to space. In school, I saw a picture of astronauts and cosmonauts from different countries traveling to space. They were talking about and speaking about their experience, how they traveled to space, what they saw from that altitude, and I was really jealous that one day I want to be an astronaut. But really, what gave me the strength and the passion was this picture. Picture of our founding father of this country, Sheikh Zayed bin Saud, sitting with astronauts from NASA, telling them about human space flights. This picture was in 1974. Imagine that. We just starting this country in 1971. And our founding father, he was so curious about space travel back then. We just started establishing our roads, our infrastructure back then. But his dream was so far in future. We are really blessed with our leaders here in the United Arab Emirates. They have really this vision of the future and make it in present. So in 2017, they announced the first Arab program, astronaut program in the United Arab Emirates. Without hesitation, I applied, side by side with 4,000 applicants, men and women. Youth from this country, they have one passion, one dream, to travel to space. I was really honored to be selected for this mission, side by side with my brother and colleague Sultan Al-Niyadi on that mission, and they announced our names in 2018 after really a very rigorous, very condensed missions or selections and a lot of tests to be selected for this mission. So we traveled to Star City. Star City is the historical place in Russia where Yuri Gagarin, the first human, traveled to space, trained and fly. There, we trained in a very different scenarios, preparations for this mission. We did a parabolic flight, simulating a microgravity training, so that we can experience weightlessness in a very short period, which is about 30 seconds. We did also different type of survival. But the most important one, this picture for me. Why is that? Because after I finished from winter survival, I sent this picture to my kids, and they send me this picture back. The message here is really, to me, is really important. The message that they sent, that we are with you. We are supporting you. And they are looking up to me. That one day, maybe they want to be an astronaut, maybe something else. Whatever they want to be, I am there for them. That's really important. Here in the United Arab Emirates, going to be an astronaut. And you know that it was really very tough training. Training in different scenarios, different systems. And the top of all of that, we have to learn Russian. Imagine, you have to know all the technical Russian language because you can fly in Soyuz. On Soyuz, it is a capsule, a Russian capsule, taking astronauts and cosmonauts to space and bring them back. Everything inside that capsule it's written in Russian. And if you speak Russian, there's different words, and they are really, if you are trying to catch a couple of words there. So there is the buttons in front of me, and it's written in Russian. Vyключить and vyключить. And if you know Russian, that's really very trick one. On and off. Oh my God. This is one of the smallest things. But we learn and we train in a way that we are really prepared for this mission. This is in the same day that I launched space. So after 2 weeks of quarantine, so that we avoid any viruses or bacteria that we're going to carry with us to the International Space Station, we avoid that scenario. So I couldn't hug my kids at the other side of the window. I couldn't say that I love you. I couldn't say that. But they were there at the launch site with me. For me, that's enough. Besides my kids, they were my teacher also there. I invited him. Because always, you have to know this. You are in your life, if you achieve anything, that's not because of you, because of the people around you. Your parents, your teachers, your siblings, your friends, even your enemies make you who you are today. The listeners in your life, they will take you to your destination. So that was a really tough moment for me. And this one, just before launching to space, waving to everyone, I did it. I remember in my 3rd year at the Air College, I had this passion about space. So at the Air College, coming from Khalifa bin Zayed Air College, there's a task to speak in front of your peers about things relative to the aviation. Fighter jets, standard procedures, things that relate to the aviation. I decided to talk about space shuttles, back then in 2004. After giving this amazing speech, videos about the shuttles going to space, coming back from space, everyone laughed at me. And they said, you want to be an astronaut? You have to first graduate and be a pilot. I didn't blame them, but because in 2004, we didn't have any space programs here in this country. But now, you cannot do it. Believe me, you can do it. If you have the passion, if you have the vision there, and you have plan to follow, and the support, you will achieve that dream. And this is the launch itself. Yeah. It was a moment that I will not forget in my life. At that moment, I record everything I did in my life. From my parents raised me, pushed me to go to school every day. My teachers everywhere, every day, like telling me, you have to work hard on yourself. My friends, everything that I did took me and made me reach that point in my life. So you have to be grateful to the people that are around you, giving you advice, supporting you to achieve what you achieve in your life. And this is the picture. It's really very cozy there. And that's so used. Very tight place, but so what? I'm going to space. Even if it's smaller than this, I'm gonna go to space. We spend about posture 2 hours before launch, 6 hours to reach the International Space Station. Going to the International Space Station, which is in the size of a football, American football field. This is a picture from the International Space Station of our rocket blasting to space. That's really amazing to see this picture and thinking that that's why I got there. This is my colleague and my space mate, Jessica Mir, our commander, Oleg Skirpichka. He's at the middle. I was really enjoying my time there. That was my first time, like just everything is floating. Then after 8 minutes, just 8 minutes, launching, we reached microgravity, weightlessness. We experienced this weightlessness that we heard about. That was amazing, just looking at all of this. And wow, I am now at 200 kilometers going to the International Space Station. This is the view that I saw from the International Space Station. As I go kilometers and where the International Space Station is. Just from there. Looking at my people from there. And I learned something from this view. There is no borders between countries. On board the International Space Station, there's different astronauts, cosmonauts from different countries working together. Yes, they are speaking different language, yet on board they achieve better life here on Earth by conducting different experiments, doing different things on board the station that will help us here on ground. And they will help us more to explore deep space. These are my friends. I call them my space family. So what I did on board the station? Why astronauts and cosmonauts flying to space? Why we spend that so much money, so much effort, so much time to go to space? Why? Some people say, just spend the 90 minutes, and 90 minutes will do a one orbit, one circle around Earth. So if we are above Dubai, after 90 minutes, we'll come back again above Dubai. Imagine that. We will witness in just one Earth orbit, 16 sunrises and sunsets. Imagine that. You will say, oh, you will spend all day eating breakfast, maybe praying. I couldn't do the 5-1. It's not our preference time on board the station. The 45 minutes day and 45 minutes night. No. Our reference time is GMT time, Zulu time, Greenwich time, whatever you want to call it. London time. That's our reference time. So at 7 a.m. we wake up, London time. We conduct experiments, science, maintenance. By the way, on board the station, there's no technicians there. You're going to be the technician, the engineer, the plumber. If the toilet break, you will fix it. So you will do everything aboard the station. And top of all of that, we have to conduct science. What type of science we conduct aboard the station and why it is important? It gives us opportunity to do things that we cannot do here on ground in 1G. One simple thing is one of the proteins that, because of microgravity, it's really grow very fast, and that's helped people that having Alzheimer's disease. Imagine, they help people get around because of that. Other thing is the experiment that I conducted on board the station, live, for example,